The market system is what draws a real-world idea of currency in the real world and translating into a tangible feel in the game. What makes the EVE Online system like it is in terms of scope, scale, and mechanics? It's interesting to say, but other games in the market area have experimented with similar game mechanics but have not gone into the kind of depth that the EVE Online has gone into. Other popular MMOs that are in the market that do similar variations of this is World of Warcraft, RuneScape. Both are games that work in a sense of the kind of popularity. EVE Online, although not popular, has the niche towards the game in the market system that makes the game more complex but also interesting in how the game economy goes out. In other MMOs, the main purpose of the market system is to trade items back and forth, usually at a profit with undesirable gear. The purpose usually is that an item is placed on the market for a set price or a bidding price to sell. So what separates EVE from the rest of the market? EVE is an interesting universe where leveling and skills that are learnt passively. In other MMOs, they can be found that the game does not really begin until you reach a level cap. The problem is that you have the issue of gear specific different levels that usually becomes useless unless a character passes that level. The understanding can be found to be the issue of passive state mechanics. The player does nothing, but the outcome or chances of winning in combat change. EVE, on the other hand, causes that dynamic to feel like every part of the process to the inception to being made up are all up to the player. This is also present in other MMOs, however the item collection of the game is not quite direct in terms of idea of the itemization. EVE Online's market system compared to other MMOs has an idea where every item in the game can be found and traded on one server where the region and location determine the price of the convenience of the set item. Due to the nature of EVE always being an idea that ships, characters, ammo are all disposable, there is always this constant need to be buying and consuming. In order for the soulbound items to provide an edge in combat, there is this need for this constant need to be innovating, build, and traded. EVE follows a procedure that all items from the start to the research of the blueprints manufactured to finally distribution and traded on the market. The idea that the skills can be learned to provide a edge in trade, marketing, and item presence suggests that a career can be found if one chooses to specialize in this field. In other popular MMOs, there is this issue that the items become irrelevant after a certain characters pass a level for a certain gear state, making them no longer useful to some degree. In EVE, the ecosystem dictates that the items work in the sort of ecosystem, but what provides the depth that EVE compared to other MMOs? Simply put, it's the idea that the one server model. It's the EVE. In EVE, it's very much location and timing based to determine how items are sold usually. A profit can be made as long as one is willing to look and has the skills to market. In other popular MMOs, there is this issue that items traded in the market system usually found to be specific somehow, although that items generated and gathered and separated in other servers. It's interesting that EVE has a system to provide the logistics to determine most of the resources traded through the system. But delving into the game and what makes EVE unique, the main thing is the scope, communication, contracts, and market history. In EVE, when you place an item, there is this issue of how the item is communicated to be able to be tradable depending on your trade skill. The more you invest, the further the outreach is. A big thing about in the one server point, if every item in the game needs to be physically picked up in order to be useful, there becomes this issue of convenience and logistics. In other MMOs like WoW or RuneScape, once an item is traded by the market, the item basically becomes instantly available for you. You have to go to the market each time you pick up or trade item. In EVE, the market system is like the price system that fluctuates and goes and changes depending on many factors like location, price, and other items in the market and scarcity. EVE allows a passive career like trading, manufacturing, logistics that are all part of the free flow of the item distribution of the game. Simply put, the kind of ecosystem that determines how even items market allows for complex play in determining what to trade. The EVE Online market main differentiating point from one game allows the player involvement on a larger scale of the EVE market to stimulate something big akin to a stock exchange. The market system is an ecosystem for what is similar to other MMOs to let the market system dictate something of an item of an exchange of one player to another, usually determined by price. In a way,